super excited because we have the gorgeous singer-songwriter Alexis Lynn with us. Hi, Alexis.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you for joining us.
What's going on? What's the hot tea?
Recently I just got back from LA not too long ago, which is great.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really rainy in Vancouver right now.
Okay.
Okay, is that where you're at right now?
Yeah, fall is in swing. Yeah, and I just released an album also recently, so lots of fun stuff, lots of stuff going on.
You sure did, girl. We're gonna talk about that.
We can't wait.
It's a bop. It's a whole bop. I love it.
It is. I really like it.
Thank you.
So tell us from the beginning, from birth.
Okay.
How did you become an artist? Like, was music always a part of your life? And just tell us how you became and came to drop this wonderful album.
Yeah, so my family is not musical whatsoever. So growing up, I have 3 siblings and we all kind of did different things, but I remember I always loved to sing, and I begged my parents to put me in singing lessons, and they're like, I just wouldn't shut up. So they're like, okay, fine. And so they put me in singing lessons, which was great. And I love to sing. I would do like little competitions and like stuff like that and performances. And then I started taking piano lessons when I was 16. And I started writing around the same time. So that's kind of when it really shifted for me from wanting to be just like a singer to someone who wanted realizing I had stories that I wanted to tell and things that I wanted to write and wanted to share with people. So that was kind of a big shift for me in terms of my goal. So I think that's when it really started for me, is when I started writing songs. And then, from there, I kind of started writing. My parents are super supportive, so they always, would come to my shows and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I kind of started from there, and then I think I released my first song in 2018, and then it's kind of just gone from there.
That's so amazing.
Wow.
Obviously when you have those dreams of coming up, you said your family wasn't really musically, and that wasn't something that they did. Was there a singular person that provided you inspiration to do that? Did you see someone on television or hear someone on the radio that really made you say, I want to do that?
I don't even remember who the first person was, but growing up, like, I was obsessed with Michael Jackson, and I was
me too.
Winehouse, and like Rihanna, and just like there were so many like of these big stars, and you're just like, I want to sing like them, or I want to write songs like them, and I just want to be. They're just so cool and so iconic. That think
is so amazing.
That's a really a good descriptor. Cool.
You just spoke to literally. We all love those artists so much. We find ourselves blasting them and now adding you to the roster, to the house all the time. So I think that's really, really special. Actually, and I have a similar story. When Michael Jackson died, we felt a piece of us. I thought I was not going to make it. I was at school, like someone in my family was gone.
Yeah, I remember like a specific moment when he died too. I remember I was at my friend's house.
Too.
News, like it's so visceral.
Yeah, I was at the movies actually. I was watching The Hangover, and my phone was just beeping and going off because everybody knew that I loved Michael Jackson, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, have you heard?" Blah blah blah, and I was just like, "What in the world?" Like, and
you always think they're lying, right? When obviously he's not a musical artist, but when Kobe passed away, it's like, what? Like, you hear it and you're like, that's not possible.
Right.
Like, that's not, because you look at these people as, like I said, as an inspiration, as this like something that you want to work toward, and they're kind of your mentor in a way, even though they're not, in front of you mentoring, they are your mentor. And so when they pass away, you kind of feel like you lose that little bit of guidance. So did you feel like a little bit lost after Michael Jackson, kind of like we did?
Yeah, it was really weird because I think I was quite young at the time, and I just remember it being, I was so sad, and I'd never been sad about someone that, like, losing someone that I didn't know, and that's the first kind of artist that that had really happened to me, and it was so odd, and it felt like his music meant more in a way, and it felt like it really felt like we lost someone super special. And I think it was an odd feeling, but I think that's, the whole world kind of feels that at a time like that when you lose someone
absolutely
so special to so many people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
On a happier note, I know you're inspired by Rihanna. How do you feel about her new music and her performing at the Super Bowl? I'm super excited
wait for Super Bowl. I could care less about football, but like I cannot wait for the halftime show. I'm so excited. I also love her new song. It's not what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting,
of course,
but I think like she shows up and shows out every time
she totally like bucked.
She did
what everybody was thinking. I thought, it's Black Panther. She's gonna come in with something like fire, like a good, like I don't know, like a faster beat, a beat,
something that feels like I felt something like maybe with like African drums and stuff like that.
But
I thought it was beautiful the way that a lot of people, younger people had their thoughts about Rihanna and things like that. But I will say that Rihanna, really, you can hear the maturity in her voice. You can hear how she's grown. And, a lot of people, when they are working toward their goal in their career and their artistry, it's like, let me get a family. Let me accomplish that part that I want to do. And I'll always be there. So I think it's kind of a treat that Rihanna kind of said, all right, I'm going to come back to music for a little bit. And all of her songs, literally nearly all of them are iconic. Like, I know more Rihanna songs than I think any artist that I've ever known. I love Beyonce.
She used to drop an album
a year. And like all of her albums, no matter if people felt any way about them, they had a bop on them. There was one that was one song on that album that everybody was like, yeah, that's my favorite. So super excited that she's gonna be at the Super Bowl. And I can't wait to see who she's gonna bring out. Any predictions who you think she might bring out?
I don't know, honestly. I'm like, I haven't even thought about like who she's gonna bring out, because I'm wondering. I mean, I guess someone always brings someone out, but I was wondering if she's gonna do it solo, because sometimes they announce too, like kind of like the extra people that they're gonna bring out. But
I don't think the Weeknd.
I'm wondering if she's gonna do a makeup tutorial.
She's gonna have a whole Sephora.
She's gonna have a table set up trying to sell Fenty.
I do think that she might sing a song and then have her and her dancers set at a table putting on makeup. I think that would be...
That'd be cute.
I think Rihanna is a very smart businesswoman, and it would be beneath her not to promote two things at once. I know Ashley and I kind of disagree on this. I think Jay-Z is going to come out and do Umbrella with her. I think there are certain things that are going to happen on it. That'll be fun.
What's his name? The new Spider-Man. She should bring him out.
She should
do
Umbrella.
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland did that iconic.
It's so good.
Lip sync battle. Yeah. You know what I will say about things like that and things that we wish? Celebrities and our musicians and all of those things, they look at comments on Twitter. Regardless of what people think, even people who write television shows and the fans are complaining and say, we want this, people look at what you're saying on Twitter. So, if the fans want that and that's what they want, then tweet it out or Instagram it out, whatever you do, because people do be watching, whether you think people are looking at your opinions or not.
Of course.
Yeah. They say don't read the comments, but you're still gonna.
Yeah. And, Alexis, kind of to ask you that, as an upcoming artist, were you afraid of any of the music that you put out? Were you like, okay, how are people going to take this? What are they going to say? Were you concerned at how people might respond to your music, or if it was going to be all positive? How did you feel about that?
Yeah, I think like specifically with this last album too, because it was just so personal that there were like, I don't think I was really worried about how people were going to react to it. It was more so just like sharing that with like just everyone and anyone who wants to hear it.
Yeah.
I think it's scary. It's just, it was scary. There was like a song on the album that I almost didn't put out because I wasn't sure if I wanted to share it with everyone. I wrote Anna about my experience with anorexia, and I had never written a song about it before. And when I wrote it, I immediately was like, that's never coming out. No one's ever hearing that. And I just really had like a moment. I was like, that's not going anywhere. But then when I realized like the album was kind of like coming together, and that Anna really fit the album and the theme and what I was talking about, and it was so true to my story, that I had played it for one of my friends, and I was in the car and I didn't tell her what it was about. I just played it, and you kind of see this like, I just saw this wave wash over her face of like, I know exactly what this is about. I've been there. And like, I hear you, and like, I feel so, like, like the visceral, like reaction of feeling seen. And that's my favorite part of music and listening to music. And so to see that like happen for someone else was just like so crazy as like a songwriter. And I knew that's like, you know, if that could help anyone, then I think.
Absolutely.
And it's such an important topic. You know, I always said, I feel like at least every woman, but so many people, men too, obviously, but so I feel like every woman has like bodily issues and a toxic relationship with food. And, you know, and I think it's so important, and it doesn't matter if you're a size 0 or a size 22, like, you know, everybody can relate to that, like, the issues surrounding like body image and food and exercise and just all of that. Like, you know, it's such an important topic, and I'm so glad that you decided to put that on your album.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm really glad too. I think it was also cathartic for me in a way to kind of, you know, have it just out in the open. But I think that, yeah, to answer your question, that was scary to just be that open, I guess, with people.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's great, you know, everything you've been open with. Something to Prove, which is your upcoming single that came out on October 14th, talked about, you know, the male validation for your love for women. Kind of talk to us about that single and why it was so important for that to happen.
Yeah, so that was another one that I wasn't exactly prepared for everyone and their mom to hear, because I had originally started like when Complex, the song on TikTok went viral. So Something to Prove started as a rewrite of that. So I just did a rewrite from like a bisexual perspective, and I wasn't thinking, like, I posted it, I think like after work one night, and it was like midnight or something, and I wasn't thinking anything of it. It was like not a good quality video. And I woke up the next morning and my phone was like blowing up, and I was like, oh no. Like it was so odd because it had gone like somewhat viral. And so yeah, that was, again, I think something that I wasn't really prepared for. You know, it's not very it's an interesting feeling to have like just everyone see you in a way that you're not expecting. But yeah, I thought it was important. I thought it was just something that was really on my mind as someone who's bi, and as someone who struggles with, I think a lot of women in general, but also bisexual women struggle with like male validation issues. And so I just kind of written it from that place. And once I really thought it was, I didn't originally think actually that a lot of people struggled with it. And I kind of thought it was a unique experience, but every time I'm on the internet, I'm reminded that none of my experiences are unique and that it's everything so universal. But
yes.
And that can be a really good thing. Alexis, I just want to, before we go to the next question, I kind of want to deep dive into something that I think is so important about how the world views bisexuality and women versus men. You know, for so long, you know, I think when a man says he's bisexual, the world says you're just gay. And I think when a woman says she's bisexual, the world disregards it because they say you're like, you're not bi, you're just going through a phase. You just like kiss your best friend.
Or you're just freaky.
Yeah, you're just freaky.
Freaky or greedy.
I
feel like I always hear the word greedy.
Yeah.
When it comes to bisexuality.
Yeah, and I think that women are seen, at least by male population, of like, oh, that's hot, that's something I'm into, and they try to involve themselves. And then with the, you know, on the opposite end, with the males being bisexual, it's just like, no, you're gay, and you're just using that as, so how do you feel about that? And how do you feel that your response has been to that from people?
I think it's a huge stigma, and I think it's a really hard one to navigate because it's obviously so false, and it's really invalidating. It's really invalidating for so many people. And it's I think it really like boils down to, again, like an issue with femininity, and because you have an issue with men being feminine, so then there's automatically gay, or you have an issue with women being like feminine, so then they're automatically just straight. You know, like it's not valid in your eyes. Their sexuality is only deemed valid if it's that of a man. You know, and so I think it's the response that I got. The majority of it was really great. It was really really eye-opening to me to see how many people also struggled with that, and also had that, you know, thought process and that kind of like internal battle of that. But there were some people of that, of course, like I kind of expected it because I know it was like somewhat of a polarizing, or like it's controversial. in the lyrics.
Right, of course.
So I had expected it, but there were also a lot of comments that like, you're just straight, you're not bi, you know, this is why we hate, like, this is why lesbians hate bisexuals, like just a bunch of, you know, like even in the community.
Yeah. In the community, you know, you have a bunch of infighting in the community. I have a really dear friend of mine who he is married to a woman. And we went to college together, and he recently came out as bisexual, and everyone and his mama literally are commenting, and they're like, what does this mean? Are you leaving your wife? Are you cheating on your wife? Like, what does this mean? And now he started to dress more feminizing, and you know, they're like, well, what does that mean? Like, who are you now as a person? And he's like, I'm still the person who loves my wife. I'm still the person who's with my wife. And, you know, you have to be a really strong individual, I think, and a couple to really understand that and move through that, because with all the outside noise from the world, they're telling you, you're this way. And, you know, they've already deemed him as gay. And some people have deemed him as transitioning. And it's like, you don't know what you're talking about in so many levels. So thank you for like, for speaking out and really putting yourself out there, who you are, and being your true authentic self, and then putting that in your song. Because one thing I do know, music is the one thing that unites the world.
Come on, Madonna.
Music, it really is. I think about, we were talking about Michael Jackson earlier. I think about when, you know, you saw him all over the world, and all of those people like crying and listening to his music, and you see in those stadiums the first time a lot of people come together. That's why Super Bowl is important. You know, people some don't like football, some don't like America, some don't like this, but on that day, everyone's gonna come together for Rihanna.
Yeah.
So,
it all comes back to Rihanna.
It all comes back
Everybody
to
comes back to Rihanna.
I love that.
Yeah, that is so true.
So if you could like collab with anyone right now, who would it be and why?
Besides Rihanna.
I was say, well, based on this conversation, Rihanna. But, I have such a long list. I actually have a list like in my phone of like producers, writers, and artists that I want to collab with. But I think like that's such a great question. Obviously, like all time, if I could collab with like anyone, I would say like Rihanna, or like I would love to collab with Ariana Grande. Yeah, there's so many people, but like producers I'd want to work with are like Benny Blanco and Phineas.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Irish would also be really cool, I think, to work with in like any capacity. I just think she's very cool.
Yeah.
I think, there's just so many. There are so many people. Girl in Red would be really also, I think, really interesting to collab with. I think she'd be super cool.
I think you would sound good with Doja Cat.
Also, I would love to work with Doja Cat.
Yeah.
Like there's so many people. The list is like endless.
Yeah, and listening to your album, I was like, oh, this reminds me of Doja Cat, but like in like the best way. Yeah.
Thank you. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kim Petras.
I was waiting. I literally was waiting.
Kim Petras, yes.
I could totally hear y'all on a bop.
Yes, and I'm so happy that Kim Petras is finally getting her like accolades and like, you know, with her #1 single, like making history.
Amazing. Yeah.
It's so hot.
Sam Smith are just like doing it.
Yeah, they really are.
It's all over TikTok.
It really is. Have you seen the video, the music video?
No,
I haven't yet.
It's really interesting. It's not what I was expecting. It's like a theater situation.
Oh, okay. We need to check that out.
They're not like in a bathhouse.
No, I know. I was expecting also like it's very interesting. You should watch it.
Expecting like crosses and like I don't know.
That's what I was thinking. Right. Like crosses, almost like crosses burning. Like I don't know what I like.
Oh, I don't know about burning,
but like I don't know. I thought something like interesting. Like I think about Beyonce's video. Like I don't know. That's what my mind was going like. Water.
Or like Lady Gaga's video for
you took it out of my mouth.
Not Judas, but Alejandro.
Yeah.
See, I was thinking of Judas or Alejandro myself.
Yeah, no, it's like theater. It's very theater. Yeah.
It's camp. Okay.
Well, I can't wait to see that. I can't wait to see that.
So, I'd like to see that.
I like to see that. So for our listeners out there, Alexis, what is a piece of advice that you would give to them? Like if they want to pursue singing or anything in that realm? Like
songwriting.
Yeah.
I'd say don't be afraid of failing, because I was afraid of failing for so long, and like you're just holding yourself back, because to succeed, like you're going to fail at some point. It's inevitable. And
preaching to the choir, girl.
Yeah, failing is not like the end of everything. So
doubt crushes dreams more than failures ever will. 100%. I have that on my Facebook, and I've never erased it. It's been there since I created my Facebook as a tag.
All the greats have faced failure.
I thought you were gonna say all the greats have Facebook. I was like, thank you. Actually,
I mean, maybe.
I don't know.
About but I always think of like Michael Jordan did not make his high school basketball team.
Yeah.
He did not make it.
I mean, there's
There's
so many people who like were told that they were not. Also, Amber Riley. Remember when she went? What was
American Idol?
No, or X Factor? She was auditioning. No, it might have been American Idol. She auditioned for Simon Cowell, and he told her, "You will never make it in this industry." He said, "You'll never be a songwriter by yourself. You'll never sing on TV. Like you're not that presence." And I remember when the Glee cast went on that performance, she got right in his face and hit that note. And he apologized to her years later, and he apologized to Jennifer Hudson recently too. He's like,
he told her some stuff too.
He said you should have been. He said, like, you shouldn't have went home when you went home. He said that was ridiculous. And
she still won in the long run.
She sure did with her EGOT.
She's an EGOT winner.
Hello. I love it.
Well, okay, so as you know, we just celebrated Halloween.
Yes.
Did you do anything fun? Do you like Halloween? Do you like
Halloween's my favorite holiday.
Yeah, you're in good company. As you can see, Adam's background is as Tim Burton the Night Before Christmas.
Obsessed. Yeah.
And then my cup is a Scream.
Oh my God, that's so cute.
Yeah. But Alexis, I have an issue with his cup. I love Scream. Scream's my favorite.
Oh, right.
But they leave Tatum off the cup. And girl, listen, Tatum is nowhere to be found.
Tatum is iconic.
It's so
Tatum
weird.
is iconic, and Tatum almost lived. And I feel like the franchise as a whole forgot Tatum. And listen, I'm gonna say something controversial. I feel like because the film, at least the first three, were produced by the Weinsteins, and you know what Harvey Weinstein did to her. I'm thinking that Tatum has been forgotten in the series as a whole for a reason. And I think that they just want to like step away from that, and that's so upsetting because Tatum, I feel like, was like the first person besides Sydney's mom that she really cared about who passed away. Like, I mean, did she know?
Did Tatum crawled so Kirby could walk?
She did because Casey Becker, like, it was a girl she sat next to in class.
No,
the principal.
She didn't. Sydney did.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Sydney.
Yeah. But someone that Sydney actually like cared about that hurt the most was Tatum. Like, besides her mama.
Right.
And and then you have Dewey. Like, everybody was connected to Tatum that died, and I don't feel like no one got to properly mourn that. So I have a problem with that. But go ahead. Sorry.
Anyways, we went on like a straight talk.
Agreed. No. I went as the bride from Kill Bill.
Oh my God, that's dope.
Oh my God,
we have
please
to
send us photos. We'll post it on our Insta.
My costume took me forever because I ordered, like, I always make my costumes usually, and I had like a yellow jumpsuit, and then I saw someone use like kind of like fabric tape to like make the black stripes. Did not stick. So then my sew it would not sew because it was like a ruched, like stretchy kind of fabric.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Right.
I had to paint it while it was on me.
Oh.
And blow drying, and I'm like painting, and it was a whole ordeal, but it turned out really good.
Yes, you better have painted.
Is it on your Instagram?
It is, yeah. I'll send it to you.
Okay.
Wait, so you did Halloween in LA, right?
No, in Vancouver.
Oh, you did Vancouver
okay.
and then went to LA.
What did you do?
Yeah.
Did you go to a party or?
I did. Yeah, I went out on Friday and Saturday. We just went I went to a house party, which I always prefer for Halloween. And then,
we always throw a house party every year, so
it's just more the Halloween vibe. And then the second night we went to like a club, which was like not as fun. But
so you're invited to our party next year here in New York. Let's go ahead and make that.
I would love to come. I've never been to New York, so
girl,
I know. It's on my bucket.
Girl, if you come here, you won't leave, and then you'll probably hate me because everyone calls me Valak. The demon from the Nun
and the Conjuring.
And so I make them all stay out. Ashley and I went out. We did the costumes here in the house. Like I said, I did the
here. I was Beetlejuice, a female Beetlejuice.
Yeah. So and then we went out on Monday night. We went to the Village because here in New York, I don't know if you're familiar, they do a parade, and then everyone goes on the Village. Girl, we were out there.
We were outside.
It was delicious. I was just running around. And then a lot of people thought I was a woman. Like I went to try to go to the bathroom and the security guard was like, "Oh no, ma'am, it's on the other side." And I was like, "I'm a boy." And so that threw him because he could not understand.
I'm a boy.
Yeah, I had to drop my voice, but I was like, I don't talk like that. I'm just
kidding. Blowing his mind.
Yeah.
That is iconic. Yeah, I will have to New York. I have to.
No, you really do.
Yeah.
Like, and Halloween would be such a great time to come to New York.
Yeah.
Next year.
Yes. Putting it in the ether.
Yes.
Oh, Alexis, thank you for coming on Pride the Podcast and geeking with us. This was so much fun.
It is, and I hate it. Every time at the end of these interviews, I'm like, that's it.
I know. We should have you back to do like a hot topic segment.
Yes.
I would love to.
Yeah.
Spill the tea.
Yeah, just come in and like guest co-host with us because we love talking hot topics and it'll be great.
I would love to.
Oh, perfect. So tell our listeners so much where they can find you, find more of your music and everything, and plug yourself, baby.
Yes, I am Alexis Lynn on Spotify and all streaming services, and Alexis Lynn Music on all social media.
Awesome. Yeah. I love it.
I love a good just brand, just boom.
Yeah,
you get one.
And
I need to fix mine.
Me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do I am Darrell Anthony on everything, I think, right?
I think you should.
I'm gonna do that. Look at you, Alexis, aspiring me to get branded across all social media. Yes. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to having you back on very soon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.